figure out what that plan is. But right now, this is a door that God's opened, and I think that we should continue to walk through it unless He shuts it down. So, yeah. And I want to move forward with and as a body be unified. So hopefully that helps. Any somewhere else? Yeah, go ahead. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. And that's why for us, I think we need to be wise with what we're doing and what we raise and how we raise it and how much debt that we decide to take on if that is the road. But um, like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I just think God's going to send somebody to our church to pay it off. And so, um, like I said, I've done the numbers in my head. It's kept me awake many a nights. Um, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to give it to God, and that's what Kristen tells me over and over again. Like, give it to God, just to let Him do it. Like, you're never going to be able to figure it out. There's not a formula that you can plug in that's going to really work, but it's just forward and so we could sit here all night and we could testify about what God has done in your life, what God's done in my life, and we've seen Him. We've seen Him. In doubt, we move forward with confidence, knowing that. And so that's why. So it could be way worse. We could have in 19 whenever it was when He gave us this corner lot to give us just enough building to where we can add on if it keeps growing. And you look at the church from 1955 to 10 years later, building this building and then adding on and adding. And so, and God has brought to carry out the next plan for the next generation. So when old and maybe I'm 82 and that's wow. But when I'm that age, I can look back and say, and we can look at it that the writing was on the wall. We just took the next step of faith. And I think that's what God has called us to do right now is just take one more step, just that next step of faith. And He's always brought the increase. That's been the story of this church the last 3 years. And I've had multiple people say, "You guys better write a book." That just doesn't happen to churches. And I can promise you, I mean, we should write a book because God has been gracious and good to this church. And so, He wrote the book. That's right. And so, yeah. Well, that's my message for tonight. So, unless you guys want me to pray, 7 minutes. Yeah.
They won't let us come back out to the psychiatric ward at the hospital in St. Carol.
Oh, yeah.
What they said, hindsight, I shouldn't have signed the hear what I hear last year.
You hear what I hear? That is pretty good.
But anyway,
That was good. Well, pray about tonight that our church can be a blessing to Mebane Ridge and pray for safety as the kids go over there. And like I said, it's a lot to unpack today. There was a lot that went into the service this morning, and just be in prayer. That's all we can do is we can lift up, we can pray. And like you said, if we are empty vessels, God can use us. He can fill us up. And so we just have to be willing and available. And so I pray that all of us will take this and we run with it, and very seriously we seek what the Lord wants for this church. And we do it daily, many times a day. Every time you think about it, you pray and ask God to guide us, direct us, give us wisdom, and He will work things out. So, and I just can't wait to stand up here and tell you the story about how somebody gave $2 million. All right, it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. So, phase 1 and phase 2 is no problem. So, anyway, all right. Well, that's good. I appreciate you guys coming tonight, and I didn't mean to take that long on that, but I think it was a very good. I think it was what we needed for tonight at this time in this ministry, and so have faith, keep the faith, and one of the biggest blessings, even from what we preached this morning, is imagine that widow getting this, God filling up all this. She sells it, she pays off her debt. Imagine the testimony that she had. I mean, the faithfulness of God, the blessings of God should be our shouting time, our time to where we're telling everybody about what God is doing. And at this time in our ministry, we need to shout it, that God's been good, God is providing, God is gracious. My goodness, my church had however many kids up here, water programs, but hey, we're going to give God the glory for what He's doing, and we can be a blessing to so many people by just telling our testimony to them. And you just never know what